record and I'll just ask these questions? That was like a piece of cake last time. Okay.
Share the point.
What is the most
Scott,
challenging?
you're going to be the one posting it, so should you record it?
I'm already recording.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, you are? Okay. So, for this podcast, it sounds like we're covering our elevator pitch presentations. I'm just going to answer the questions and we're going to bounce around ideas between each other. First question, what is the most challenging aspect to creating and presenting this kind of presentation?
I feel like when you have to when we're talking about the fake product, we're not that invested in it. So it's hard to really have this conversational trying to sell it to them when part of us knows it's not real. So it's part of being a good presenter and a good actor kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's one thing that maybe will help some people back.
I personally don't like impromptu anything. I like having things planned. So in speech class, I really did not like the impromptu speech when we were learning about that. And so I don't feel like I've planned enough out and know exactly what to cover. I feel like I'm going to miss something and thus get docked on my grade or really anything.
I thought the biggest issue was just basically reaching the customer and trying to think of a slogan that was catchy for every type of customer, and especially for an invention that's so far out there to society nowadays. It seemed hard to be relatable, I think.
I think it's hard to distill something so complicated into such a short period of time.
Yeah,
because
there's so lot to say and you forget.
You feel like they have 1,000 questions and you're trying to answer all of the questions they might have for them. And I know that the right way is just to throw enough stuff out there to get them emotionally invested and let them ask the questions. That's what you guys did really good about your presentation, is you made it personal,
And when you're in a group, it's like you feel pressured to answer all those questions, and you start ranting about answering all of them, and then you don't leave anything for your group. And so it's kind of like the improv where you get a little pressured, and it's just hard.
And then you still have
just being okay with leaving some things unsaid if they're not necessary, or just kind of trusting that.
For me, the hardest thing is explaining this product, because there's a lot of details and a lot of hard vocabulary that I don't usually use out of class, right? So there's a lot of details, and that's what I'm having a hard time with explaining it.
All right, question number 2. For each member of your group, highlight and explain your greatest asset and your greatest challenge to oral presentations. What is a plan of action you can put in place to help you overcome these challenges in the future?
I think I'm great at oral.
Okay, so I'm not good at oral. I kind of had a hard time up there, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
That would definitely be my weakness. I think my best asset would, kind of like Josh, I'm a lot more structured and have to have a script and technicalities. I think I'm good at reining things in once in a while and staying on topic and staying focused, but as far as
well, obviously.
I get a feeling that what I said for the first question applies to this one
yeah,
as well.
yeah, they are
really
similar.
well.
So, improving, unless I'm personally invested, improving is kind of hard and something that I'm just forced to do.
Yeah, and I feel like with me, it matters a lot to me to be able to do that well, I guess. I care too much, and I feel like I was really getting judged by the class, because it's almost like we're in a competition,
Yeah.
So I felt like a really judge audience.
Well, yeah, we are basically
It was
being
uncomfortable.
judged, and then we just get dissected after, but that's kind of part of the process. All
I
right.
find it hard not to over-explain. It's probably my biggest weakness. I don't mind talking, and I kind of like the impromptu thing, but I really have to rein myself in on over-explaining things. So.
I feel like with me, I have a lot of ideas in my head before I go up there, and they're all sounding pretty good, and then I get up there, and I only remember the
gone.
mediocre ones. Yeah.
Really.
So how do we plan on fixing these challenges? That's also part of this question.
Well, with me, I need to get a little less lazy and write a little bit more down. And I feel like I am getting better. If you just do it
Repetition.
enough, it's
practice.
already so much better. like I'm gonna go out and like sell some stuff on the street right now because like I.
For me, the greatest asset that most of the time, I don't care. I know that I'm gonna look embarrassing sometimes, and I know that I'm gonna, what is the word? Stutter. But I go anyways. But the challenge that I have, like EJ said, when I'm on the table, I have a lot of ideas. Once I go out, I'm out of all ideas. What else? I was going to say something that I totally forgot. See, this is what I'm talking about.
How do you plan to fix it?
Well, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go to a mirror and just presenting to myself or recording videos of myself. Seriously.
Repetition.
One thing I was telling myself
is it the stress when we go up there.
Yeah,
we just get really tense.
Well, that's what you can't tell yourself to relax. Like that's not.
I know, but could you do something about it to make yourself more relaxed?
One of the things that I was going to say, and I forgot, is that I always try in classes. I try to make the students laugh so I can. Kind of, I don't know how to explain this.
Tension somewhat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Relax the atmosphere.
Exactly, kind of like that. It makes me kind of feel relaxed when they are laughing. I feel like I'm touching them kind of way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always kind of been like that too, and that's another challenge I think for these oral presentations is they're not supposed to be funny. They're supposed to be like so strict and structured and stuff like that, and I've always been kind of go up there and
especially when it's a fake product. Like it's very hard to not like take it right to act like you're taking seriously because it feels like you're playing like house or something. Like it's not not a comfortable experience. For me, one thing that helped when I was presenting, or like one thing that was gonna help when I thought of it but then I forgot, is like trying to act like it's not just because someone says it's a presentation. Like you're just talking to those people. Like public speaking is just speaking with a different title, so we get scared of it.
Just act like it's a conversation.
Just act like it's a conversation,
Between you and the crowd as one person?
Yeah.
Okay.
The truth is, if you act confident, you are confident. And the thing that makes things awkward is when the audience thinks that you're feeling really awkward and out of place, it makes them feel awkward.
Yeah.
So, being funny is a good way to do that, but also just what you did, just telling a personal story. It's like you didn't look you didn't look stressed at all. You were like totally comfortable and confident, like you just didn't care, and you're talking and having a conversation and everybody in the room feel totally just comfortable.
Yeah, and like
so it was awesome.
And like I think it's part of it is like just the things that you chose to say, like the personal experiences. Like there was no bullshit with it, so you could kind of just like you could be honest and you could have that conversation with them. I feel like that really helps.
The AC kicks in.
Like that's what made that so good is like we had a different tone than all the other ones, because all the other ones like it's hard to pay attention to it because you feel like you're in class almost.
Yeah.
Should we skip to 3 or not skip but go?
Yes.
Okay. Explain how oral presentation skills will Explain how oral presentation skills are necessary and useful in whatever career you plan to hold in the future. How will an inability to create proper awareness around oral communication prevent you from progressing in your careers?
Okay, like the professor said, even if you're going to be working as a scientist inside a lab where you only do stuff by yourself, eventually you're going to have to come in contact with people again. You're going to have to present your research to somebody. You're going to have to write their research to somebody. You're going to have to post it, anything, really.
Or like present yourself, you were saying?
Yes.
Yeah. I've always thought that oral presentations are super relatable to like meeting the person that you're nervous around too, like the person that's got a lot of authority or something. Like if you're going to meet the president, you're kind of nervous or something, and you stutter as if it's an oral presentation. I think that's really relatable. So like you kind of get that feeling, and you're going to have to do that no matter what your profession is. You're going to have to be able to acknowledge your boss and like talk to him and have good conversations and stuff. And I think that this skill of like when you do get nervous, reining it in and being able to speak will inevitably help.
Yeah, anxiety only works when you let it control you. So like if you get anxious and you say, okay, I'm not going to do it because I'm too anxious to do it, it'll make you more anxious next time because that worked before. So the more you just force yourself to do something, like you're just going to get better at it and less anxious. And I feel like, I don't know, it's for me, it's a process of learning to control myself and not let like little things control me.
I think that pretty much covers it, unless somebody else has something to add.
good.
Unless we want to talk about my elevator.
No.
Bathroom idea.
One more
Recording tape,
podcast.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
Podcast part 2.
Seriously, that's podcast 4, right? Do we have to do one next week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think everyone's
think
seeing
we
it
have
Saturday
on
as one do.
Like this, the last
That's
Saturday.
like our final
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
So are you guys getting together tomorrow then?
That's an
Because
oof.
I can come over.